Bonjour les amis, thank you so much for joining today's show. Without you, I am not here. Okay, so as you know, this is for those who can and who want to do more. You have options in the description below. Pick the one that fits you best. I always suggest the membership program because it is the most affordable option. But understand that by you watching from start to finish, interacting in the video, pressing the like, and all that good stuff also supports me as well. So don't minimize that at all. All right? Okay, let's get started. Lori Vallow Daybell. She was found guilty of pretty much murdering her kids. And so she has something to say. Of course, she has something to say. Let's look at it together. I'll give you my commentary about it in a little bit. But of course, the first thing first is that if you are new here, I'm Alistair Hanzekio, and this is just my point of view.
I would like to start by quoting John from the New Testament in the Bible. In John chapter 8, verse 7, Jesus says, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her." Then in verse 15, Jesus says, "Ye judge after the flesh, I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true." Jesus knows me, and Jesus understands me. I mourn with all of you who mourn my children and Tammy. Jesus Christ knows the truth of what happened here. Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medications happen. I have a different perspective in life because in 2002, when I was pregnant with Tylee, I died in the hospital while in labor with her. They tried to stop my labor. They put me on the table and they put something in my IV, and I felt my spirit falling to the floor. I was standing near my pregnant body, watching the doctors try to revive me, which took them a few minutes. In that time, my sister Stacy was standing to my left. I turned to hug her and was surprised that her spirit was as tangible as a physical body, because I knew I was in spirit and she was in spirit. She said she needed to show me some things, and we went to heaven. I later returned to my body. Because of this experience, I have access to heaven and the spirit world. Since then, I have had many communications from people now living in heaven, including my children, Tylee Ashlyn and Joshua Jaxon, my sisters, Stacy and Lolly, my aunts and my uncles, and my grandparents. I have had many communications with Jesus Christ, the Savior of this world, and our heavenly parents. I've had many angelic visitors have come and communicated with me and even manifested themselves to me. Because of these communications, I know for a fact that my children are happy and busy in the spirit world. Because of my communications with my friend Tammy Daybell, I know that she is also very happy and extremely busy. I have always mourned the loss of my loved ones, and I have lost many in this mortal world. However, I know them more than most people. I know where they are now and what they're doing. I know how wonderful heaven is, and I'm homesick for it every single day. I know we all lived in heaven before we were born on earth, and we were all adult spirits in the heavenly realm. We chose to come to earth as mortals. Heaven is more wonderful than you can possibly imagine. I do not fear death, but I look forward to it. I did not want to return to my body when I was out of it. Even though my son Colby, who I adored more than anything, was only 6 years old at the time, and I was about to give birth to this new baby girl that I wanted so badly. I was a young mother, and you would think I wouldn't want to leave my children. But as I stood in heaven, I did not want to go back. I thought they would be fine without me because I was peaceful and I was happy and I was home. But then I was told by Jesus that I needed to go back and complete things that I had covenanted or promised to do before I was born. This caused me a lot of distress because I knew heaven was my real home, and I only wanted to be there. I was free from pain, emotional and physical. But then I was shown how I would help my children and others in the future. So ultimately, I did agree to go back to my body. Tylee has visited me. She is happy and very busy. Tylee is free now from all the pains of her life. Tylee suffered horrible physical pain her whole life. I sat with Tylee in the hospital year after year after year while she screamed in pain when the morphine wasn't even enough to take away the pain of her pancreatitis. I sat there while she cried and I held back her hair while she threw up. And I am the only person on this earth who knows how much Tylee suffered in her life. She had pain every single day. She never felt good. Her body did not work right. And I don't know if that was from complications from me dying while she was being born or something else, but she had a very difficult life. She was sexually abused by her own biological father since she was 3 years old, and she was forced by family court to go visit him for 10 years against her will. I fought for her in court. I protected her. I tried to protect her with my whole life. I tried to protect her. I worried about her every single day. Tylee had to get her GED because she couldn't go to school every day because she never felt good. She felt sick. Nobody knows this because Tylee, like myself, tries to put on a good front, tries to be a happy person, tries to have hope in life, tries to know that she's here for a purpose and that she has an eternal purpose to be on this earth. But I never stopped worrying about her. One of the times that Tylee came to me as a spirit after she died, she commanded me and she said to me, "Stop worrying, Mom. We are fine." She knows how I worry and how I miss her. The first time JJ visited me after he passed away, he put his arm around me and he said to me, "You didn't do anything wrong, Mom. I love you. And I know you loved me every minute of my life." JJ, Joshua Jaxon, was an adult spirit. And he was very, very tall when he put his arm around me. He is busy. He is engaged. He has jobs that he does there. And he is happy where he is. His life was short, but JJ's life was meaningful. JJ was a wonderful person and touched the lives of everyone. And I adored him every minute of his life. My eternal friend, Tammy Daybell, has visited me on several occasions. She came to bring me peace and comfort. And I know that she is extremely busy helping her family, especially her children and grandchildren. And I have a great love for Tammy. My beautiful children, Tylee Ashlyn and Joshua Jaxon, rest safely this day in the arms of Jesus. My wonderful friend, Tammy Daybell, rests safely this day in the arms of Jesus. And I look forward to the day when we are all reunited and I too will rest with them in the arms of my Jesus.
Look, this was very actually difficult to listen to. Let's go to the next segment, and I'm going to share something with you, and I'm going to shed some light onto what is going on here, because you might not know. I know exactly what all this mess is, and it is quite dangerous, and it is extremely common. What we just witnessed is not unusual. That's not unusual. The murder part, depending on what part of the world you're in, that's not even unusual. Let's go to the next segment. Okay, so I go straight into the big pointers that my brain picked on when I was taking notes, and it's reference to Tylee. She spent a big portion of that speech not on Jesus, not at all. She spent the majority of it, the big bulk of it, in the middle, and she spent it on Tylee, and she emphasized two main important points: physical pain. Her body did not work right? So she was defective, so to speak. And the sexual abuse Tylee experienced at the hands of her father, allegedly. Okay? Now, the word alleged has to be massive here because she is Daybell, Lori Vallow Daybell, psychotic. But listen, via psychosis, her perception of reality is distorted. It is what she believes, but there are conflicts between her psychotic state and what her common sense is doing. There is an internal clash of morality. How do I know that? For alleged certainty? Because of this. In moments of her speech, she giggles, she laughs, she cries. There's rise of emotions when there should not be a rise of emotion. When she mentions and when she talks or refers to her son being older in spirit. In other words, like, hey mom, I'm all grown up now. Look, and I have a job. She is on the verge of tears, being emotional on stuff like that. Or when she talks about Tylee saying, Mom, you didn't do nothing wrong. It's all good. I'm good. She's emotional about that. She's heavy about that. There's a morality conflict because she knows very damn well the moment of the accident where she tortured those kids. She can recall those moments very clearly in her mind. And make no mistakes, she relives those moments every single day. But she relives it from the point of view of someone with a distorted view of life. Now I'm going to bring it back to Tylee. I'm going to use her as a main example here. If you're confused, it's going to make sense. Just hang with me for a second. She talked about her giving birth. She talked about how, Lori talked about how when she was giving birth, her spirit left her body. Okay, forget about that. Now, she told you the whole, like, I'm pregnant. It's hard to push. I'm in spirit, just so she can come to Tylee and explain to you, or explain to herself or to anyone who is in that world. Because I only understand it because I have people close to me who are, right? Tylee having physical pain because maybe of the way she was born. Tylee's body not working right. Tylee having organ situations. Tylee being sexually assaulted allegedly by her father. All of that has one denominator: a bad spirit. Tylee is not Tylee. Tylee has been possessed, but there's something who is influencing Tylee's timeline. That's why she created the series of events. Difficulty giving birth. I almost died myself, yet I came back and survived. And then my daughter has stomach issues, organ issues, constant physical pain. I struggle and I keep struggling. My daughter's being abused. That clearly cannot be real life. Clearly something else is to blame. Clearly, it must be a spirit. Clearly, demons are possessing my situation. Therefore, I must pray. I must pray away. I must confess. I must repent. I must pray. I am possessed. Do you see the scenes of effect here? Vallow Daybell is using her misfortune. Please, it's called life. It's called life. If you think your shit it's better than the one next to you, you're out of your mind. Everybody have their own struggle. It's called life. But someone with not enough grit, like this lunatic, is going to find something else somewhere else to blame. And what is the easiest thing to blame? Well, it's the spirits. It's the demons. It's clearly not my fault. When you cannot point the finger at anybody else, who'd you point the fingers to? Some unknown entity. It's a coping mechanism. But here's where that problem lies. When you have a coping mechanism combined with someone who is predisposed not to be crazy. No. I'm doing this. This is a predisposed narcissist. Let's go over a little bit what her life was like. So she's a girl. She's a woman. Vallow is a woman, obviously. Obviously. Never did anything hard work of a life. Housewife. I'm not saying being a house mom is, easy, because, honey, it is not, okay? But what I'm talking about here is that she had a husband, Charles, who allegedly she killed, by the way, who made sure she was left wanting for nothing. Yeah, she had the easy life. She had the easy life. Very attractive blonde woman. She had the easy life. Never had to work in her life. She has the easy life. And then all of a sudden, life gets really hard. She had an autistic son. You know how hard that is when you're not used to work. It's hard. And she had a teenager with problems. Yeah, of course. Oh my God. I wouldn't be surprised, allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised that Miss Lori over there was raised with everything she wanted, she got because of her life circumstances. In other words, she's it's easy to be like, it's all about me because the whole world made it about her. I hope I was clear with that first dot. There's many more dots I'm going to connect. Let me let's go to the next segment. I want to explain to you why this resonates a lot with me and why I can see through those lines, because I've experienced something like that. Let's go to the next segment so I can tell you some more. When you listen to her speech at word value, it's completely ridiculous. Of course, it is ridiculous. But you have to listen to it and detach yourself and connect multiple more dots in order for it to make sense. You almost have to put yourself in her shoes, just so you can comprehend and digest the words she was saying. Psychosis is pretty much, long story short, it's when your perception of reality is so distorted that it no longer matches with a societal standard. I've mentioned to you that this is something that I've experienced firsthand in my own family. And a member of my family went through a situation of psychosis, and it didn't get to murder, but it was heading that way. What? Surprise? It was heading to a point where it no longer stayed within the boundaries of religion. It's starting to overflow towards harm of people around, very close people around. And that's where it's important that you have a system, a societal system in place to be able to catch those things, pay attention to those things. And let me tell you something, we were very lucky that this incident happened in Canada, because if this happened in the US, it probably would have led to a situation like this. I'm sorry to say, Americans have the worst mental health situation of every developed nations. Really? So, from my personal experience, when the craziness starting to go beyond the one person, society said absolutely not, and they took over. They took autonomy over that particular family member because at that moment, her actions was infringing on other people's potential safety. Therefore, she lost the right of like, I do what I want. It's my No, you lose that right. You lose that right once you become threatening to other people's. Yeah, it's not like that in the US, unfortunately. I wish it was. It will make people a lot more considerate. But no, over here we do whatever we want and we pay the consequences after the crime is done. Anyway, I don't even want to drink coffee. No, I'm in my thought. I don't want to be derailed. So, when I listen to Lori Vallow talking that stupid mess, to us it's laughable and disgusting. To her, it's her reality. But as I mentioned to you, there's conflictionness going on. I'm going to bring it back to my personal experience here as to why I understand I hear between the lines very, very, very clearly. Because when it comes to psychosis, it's forever. It's a perception that never really leaves you. And you might wonder, oh my God, like her kids are dead. I can't believe all this time in the clanker. She didn't realize. No, if anything, the time in isolation over there in jail just reinforced her perception of reality. It reinforced the fact that the demons are out to get me. They were out to get my daughter. They were out to get my son. And I managed to deliver them. Now they're after me. That's why they put me. That's why I'm here. Because the demons are attacking me. Therefore, I must pray more. It just seeps deeper into her brain and renders her literally inept. This is no longer a functioning member of society. And by the definition of insanity, because to me, this is someone who's insane. This is someone who's not even eligible to even be with the criminals over there. This is someone that needs to be locked up in a mental institution. Yeah, you could throw tomatoes, I dodge them all. But she doesn't qualify for insanity because she still knows right and wrong, right? She still understands that someone is dead. Killing someone is not the right thing. She still understands that. So she doesn't fit the definition of insanity from a legal standpoint. But from a societal standpoint, this is not someone you want to be hanging around with. This is not someone you want to run your house. Because she will poison your food, allegedly. She will stab you when you sleep, allegedly. This is not someone you want anywhere near another person, unsupervised. Okay? That was it for this segment. Let me tell you a little secret. I don't know. I had to redo that segment 2 times. Why? Because there's no daycare today. So we are literally working like super parents. Yeah, I had to stop in between, be a parent, run back down. Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on in the house. Boop, 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 boop. So I'm probably going to talk really fast because I don't know when I'm going to be interrupted. Please, the queen is up. When the queen is up, you better kneel, darling. Okay? I'm so afraid I'm going to turn my daughter into a narcissist because, it's very hard not to make it all about her. Can't wait till I say, no, Olympia, no, do your homework and clean your room. I can't wait. Anyway, next segment. What a tangent. Listen to what the judge says after, look, the judge's hands are tied. It's not like he can be like, oh, Lori, okay, I'm so sorry, you're free. No, that's not going to happen. So, no, his hands here are sort of tied, so he can only operate within what the law dictates. But, let's see what he has to say. Because I think that's also important to hear.
Murder is the most serious offense. And the most unimaginable type of murder is to have a mother murdering her own children. And that's exactly what you did. You were involved in and guilty of conspiring to murder another group of children's mother, Tammy Daybell, who had children of her own. And despite the jury convicting you with overwhelming evidence, you still sit here before the court today and said you didn't do it. You came here to East Idaho, where I've spent my life, and moved here from another place already with plans in progress to make your children disappear. The evidence bore that out at trial. You removed your children from their home in Arizona, alienated them from friends and family, got rid of JJ's service dog. You moved to Rexburg, a community where you could find 1,000 random families to take your children, and you brought them here to murder them. You had so many other options. You could have gotten divorced. You could have found someone to take care of those kids. But as the state was able to prove at trial, you chose the most evil and destructive path possible.
Yeah.
You killed those children, according to the state's theory, and I believe it, to remove them as obstacles and to profit financially. You justified all of this by going down a bizarre religious rabbit hole, and clearly you are still down there.
Yeah.
While you were enjoying your new life in Hawaii, countless law enforcement officers, family members, and volunteers were searching for your children. And I don't think to this day you have any remorse for the effort and heartache you caused for others who looked for your children when you knew where they were and knew they were dead.
Mm-hmm.
They were found dead,
Okay.
burned, mutilated, and
Mutilated.
dismembered, and buried like animals.
Animals.
After you knew they were dead, you
Okay.
collected public funded assistance payments meant
Okay.
for them. And that was
Thief.
blood money you kept for yourself.
Okay.
And that's the grand theft charge you've been convicted of.
Religious. Stupid.
Your sister, your son talked to you, begged with you while you were in the jail
Yep.
during phone calls I heard
Yep.
at trial.
Stupid.
And those were very sad and difficult calls to hear. And you didn't provide any assistance or comfort to them. During the
Stupid.
trial, when the evidence came out about how these children were found and the state they were in, you wanted to be excused and not have to watch the evidence, and were fine to let all the other people in the courtroom, including the jurors, have to bear through that.
Let me pause it here, because what he just mentioned, these are little nuggets of her morality compass and interfering with the fact that she thinks she's a goddess. And that's what I was telling you this entire time. She has a psychosis situation, but make no mistake, she knew it very well what she was doing. Those kids were a nuisance to her newfound fame of being a goddess. Okay? Because psychosis is one thing. Going the other way and killing your kids is a whole different thing. Miss Vallow Daybell, we have stupid hair. Look at her hair. Look at that hair. Can we do something more? Can we do something more? Can we do something more? Can we do something more over there? I don't know. I told you, remove the beds. I think you can sleep on the floor without breaking your back. That's not a human rights situation. Sleep on the bed. Plenty of people sleep on the floor. Sorry. You know, what else can we take away? What else can we take away? God damn it. What else can we take away? Do they need windows? They don't need windows. We have air conditioning. Remove the window. Yeah. What else can we take away? I'm so irritated.
However, I ruled that you did have to sit and watch and see the result of your heinous crimes. The jurors in your case fulfilled their duty admirably. All 18 jurors we had, because we had alternates, went through the entire trial and faithfully fulfilled all their obligations and all the instructions. So we were able to get impartial jurors who weren't already tainted by pretrial publicity to decide your case. And I do thank the jurors publicly for the service they rendered. Those jurors I noted during the trial were very good at keeping their emotions in check and keeping stone-faced, as they're supposed to do, and be objective until the case is done and submitted. However, I did note at certain times during the trial, such as when there were videos and pictures shown of you in Hawaii at this time frame when JJ and Tylee were lying in shallow graves, The disgust on the faces of those jurors was evident, and shocking revelations about what happened here just kept coming through the trial. The crime scene was a horrific thing to have to review, and there's images that I will never get out of my mind. And I'm just looking at the pictures. Law enforcement officers who had to deal with the aftermath of what you did, I'm sure were traumatized. And I know it was traumatic as well for the jurors who had to sit through and see the photographs of these dead and mutilated and buried children. For those people who loved and cared about JJ and Tylee and Tammy Daybell, to have to see those photographs of them through trial of their dead and desecrated bodies must have been devastating. Tammy Daybell was murdered as a result of your conspiracy. She was, by all accounts, a healthy, happy mother and wife through a lot of her life. And you were out shopping for wedding rings to marry her husband while she was still alive. You were planning a wedding to her husband while she was still alive. You haven't shown any remorse for any of those actions. And she ended up being murdered, buried, had to be disinterred later so an autopsy could be performed in order to prove the evidence of what you had done. She didn't deserve any of that. You took her life away. You destroyed that family, fractured it to the point where, in the information I've had through the PSI, there are relationships that will probably never be mended that have rippled as a result of what's happened. JJ and Tylee, of course, 7 years old, 16 years old, were separate people whose lives were cut way too short because of you. Never got to grow up and be adults. The family and friends who have provided their impact statements, of course, have stated it better than I could about who they were. And it is a loss for everyone that you took them away from this world. And it is the most shocking thing, really, I can imagine, is that a mother killed her own children and you simply have no remorse for it. Even sitting here today, there's no remorse for what you did. After all of this evidence through trial, you haven't shown any remorse. You haven't said you're sorry. You haven't done anything to seek leniency from this court. There's been a lot of people during trial and here who explained the devastation you're responsible for, and you've forever altered the lives, not in a good way, for many, many people, destroying family relationships, taking people away that were loved, cared for, and needed. You may not believe to this day that you've done anything wrong, and you still may think you're justified by your religious beliefs for what happened here. I'm not here to judge that, but I don't believe that any God in any religion would want to have this happen, what happened here.
So, this is where you're wrong, Judge. This is where you're wrong. And if you know what I know, no, their God stand for killing and death of the infidels. Their God stands for the purge of those who don't believe the same. You don't believe me? Okay. I'll give you an example. LGBTQ plus. Okay. All right. You can go to Iraq. You can go to any Muslim nation. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Please. These are places that don't have enough cojones to protect this. Look, forget the Muslim nations. Go to Africa. Yeah? In the name of God, you must perish. Please, Judge, please. That God is being used for murder. I've said it. Matter of fact, I'm done with this judge and his situation. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. There was a situation between me and my mother, because my mom is born again Christian. Listen, don't throw tomatoes. Let me get my thought out. My mom is born again Christian, and she had a big issue with my sexuality. Very annoying, expecting a grown man to still live somebody else's shoes. I'm not 18 or 16. Even at 18, I wasn't like that. Okay. So I said to her, I said to her, Mom, I want you to be very clear about something. So you want me to view you, a person who co-signs on a religion that murders people like me. You want me to put this into a perspective that can understand that what you believe in only wants to murder me? You know what I said to my mom? I said, pack your bags, you can leave. She didn't believe me. I said, no. It's not believing or anything, mommy. My brain is on. I heard what I heard, understood what I stood. No, you can pack your bags. You can get out of this house. I put her in a hotel. I'm not wasting my time trying to convince someone of anything. Do you know how expensive, exhausting it is to convince someone and change their point of view and opinion? Listen, this is like shortcut. It's a short life. You understand? And I'm raising a kid. You don't get it after the first try and a half. I'm not wasting my time. I just say yes to everything you have to say, and then you can just move on and get out. I'm not wasting my time. Why would I waste my time? You have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of time. Please, you know how long we live? Short life. I want to enjoy my family, enjoy my daughter, enjoy my vacations, enjoy everything. I don't have time to spend and trying to convince you of something morally right or wrong. You can believe what you want to believe in. The moment you cross the threshold of physical violence, let alone murder, you're sick. That's it. You don't have to like it. I'm telling you. The moment your solution is to go and inflict intentional pain on someone, you could pack both of your legs and walk the hell out of here. You're sick. I'm not interested. Period. Are you interested into that? You want to be friends with someone that cause... Really? Oh, well. You can go over them too. Next segment. Final thought. And I have an itch. I have an itch. Listen to me. Oh, you're offended? Great. Listen to me. Final thought. Do you know how much work it is to raise a child? Listen, once upon a time, I was single and with no kid. All right? I slept very well. I ate. I did what I wanted to do. Once I had this baby and an active parent, oh my God, it's so much work. It gave me newfound respect for stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home parents, stay-at-home father, a newfound respect for single parents. Single parents, you deserve every single thing you want. You want a tax break? Get it. You deserve it. Single parents, I have your mind. It's so much work. It's so much work. Okay? It takes so much work for a parent to raise 18, what is that? That's nothing. You're not done. 20, you're still not done. 37, maybe you're done. For 37 years, you have to raise this little thing from up to here and making an upstanding citizen. It's so exhausting to think that you're going to take all that work and just end it. I have your mind. Are you insane? You're insane. Like the fact that even crosses your mind that you're going to hurt your kid. You are insane. What? Never. As a parent, never. Matter of fact, I told you, I'm not dying for anybody. I'm not dying for Chris. Sorry. I'm not dying for my mother-in-law. Sorry. I'm certainly not dying for my parents. No. But I will die for my daughter. What? Like, you don't understand. If you don't get parental love, then by the way, it's something that you have to be a parent to really experience. It's unexplainable. It's an unexplainable love. It's an unexplainable connection. You can't explain it. Because I love my husband to death. Just not enough to die for him. But I love him to death. But my daughter, it's not even love. It's obsession. It's an obsession. It's obsession. I'm obsessed. It's like it's an obsession. And you have to control the obsession because you don't live through your kids. Listen to me. Your kids are not an extension of yourself. You don't live vicariously through your children. That's how you know they are their own person. You raise them to be upstanding citizens of society. And the second thing you have to make sure is they are self-sufficient. They don't have to be millionaires, billionaires. No, they have to be self-sufficient. They have to know how to work. They have to get up and go work. They have to pay their own bills. They have to be self-sufficient. All that vacation and extra, that's just extra. They have to be self-sufficient. Then you've done a good job. And make sure they're not like murderers and all that stuff. But all of that is still very random because you have no idea what the end result is going to be. Do you understand the amount of effort, torture that goes on up here as a parent? And to think that I'm going to wake up one day and end it all? Are you out of your mind? Do you know how much work I've done I mean, for gay parents, but for heterosexual, of course, you don't have to go through surrogacy. Most of you guys, right? Because there's also IVF. It's a lot of work just to wake up one day and be like, I'm gonna off you and delete. Are you crazy? You crazy? Vallow Daybell is nuts. She's nuts. She's nuts. She's nuts. And anybody who hurts children, like, you have something up here. Anybody who hurts animals, you have something up here. And everybody who co-signs on hurting their kids, what are you doing? You put all this effort to just damage it? Really? Ugh. I am so heated. I'm heated. I am absolutely heated. Forget the condition. I'm completely heated. Completely heated. I can't even afford to calm down, take a moment and calm down, because you want to know my schedule is today? I don't have time today. Let's go to my Let's Talk. Let's talk. Listen, religion has damaged, in my opinion, some of my family members. They're not the same. They're not the same. You could read between the lines. They're like Vallow Daybell managed the murder. There you go. There you go. Yes. My thoughts are so frazzled. I am super annoyed. It just dug up something that, quite frankly, I haven't really dealt with, and I don't think I'm interested in dealing with, because it involves the safety of my kid. No, I don't want to deal with that. I want to keep that heat and that frustration, so I can keep extra eyes on it. So when I notice it, I can take action before it's too late. It takes one moment to ruin your life. Anyway, let me tell you what this is all about. Let's go on a lighter note. So this is a raggedy shirt. It's a clean shirt, but it's very, very old. I'll tell you why. So once upon a time when I was a single man, I'm from Africa, so heat doesn't bother me, and so I used to sleep naked, and but at the time I kept my apartments and my homes very warm and toasty. Now I live with somebody else, and he is always overheating. I'm always cold in this house. I'm always freezing in this house. So now I have to sleep with clothes on, compromise. Ever since we started living together, I've just been in a never-ending state of freeziness. So you're like, why are you wearing? Yes. So my pajamas are. I don't want to get up. You have my PJs here, and usually, because I don't know, I old shirts. I guess I never throw anything away. I do throw everything away. No, old shirts. There's a stack where it's like Alster sleeping shirts. You have a hole in it, I'll take it. The shirt is ripped apart, I'll take it. Yeah, it's just a shirt to sleep in. It's stained, whatever. Yeah. You know what time it is today? It's 10:49 a.m. Right. So listen, what a crazy morning it was. I've been going at this since 8:30. See how long it took me to record this mess? Because it's been on and off. There's no daycare today, so we have to be parents today. And Chris has meetings. He has meetings this morning. I had to cancel my work day. Why? Because someone has to take care of the kid. Yeah. So normally on a Friday like this, because Friday she doesn't do daycare on Fridays. So Fridays there's no daycare, and so normally, because Christopher has the flexibility to really work from home, And he delegates. I don't want to give too much, but he delegates. So he has the luxury of just roaming around the house in his robes. So today he has to be talking to his bosses, important meetings, so he can't roam around in robes. And so I have the more flexibility in terms of the job. I can cancel my day, but I have to pay for it later. So I was like, okay, fine, I cancel my day. So I had to cancel my day to watch the kid, and I have to fit these contents in whenever I can. So it's taking me so long to record this mess because I have to go in and out, up and down, 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 up and down. I have to be a parent. This was hard to make. Ugh. Anyway, I gotta go record this, edit, record. I have to upload and edit this. Look, in the editing version, I might have to edit a lot of the mess that I said. We're friends. Gotta love the belching. So, I find myself, like, as I get older, I have a hard time controlling the burping. It just comes out. Like, as I'm talking to you, it just pops out. Oh, aging. This is what it's about. Your knees hurt. Your esophagus weakens. You stop farting. Look, very quickly, Olympia walks. She has a walker. So she walks on the walker, and Chris was like, oh, what? How crazy is that? She's getting the walker. We might get the walker soon. I was like, oh, Christopher, my God, you're right. Life is full circle. A circle. And you start crawling. And then you go to sleep. Oh my God, I died. We are a laughing family here. We laugh a lot. We laugh a lot. Yeah. And yeah, we laugh a lot. I tell you something really funny about Christopher. I always say, Christopher, you have a mental problem, because Christopher never zips it up. They get you mad on the gutter. Every time, like, Christopher can go, like, if Christopher goes to the bathroom, it will never come back out zipped. And I have to tell him, did you put your zipper back up? And he goes, zip, every time. Every time. Every time. Every time. Every time. You could be at a wedding. Yep, it's down. Every time I say, Christopher, you have a mental block. I think something is not clicking up here, because you don't think zipper exists. Every time. At home, every time. Just now, just now during his meeting, he, like, in transition of parenting duties, it was down every time. And I'm always like, wow, Chris, you really have a mental block. It's so funny. The quirks. He makes fun of my quirks too. Yeah. Like this. Or, and then like this, when I go, he took a video of that when we were dating a very long time ago. But when I sleep like my mother, like a vampire. I sleep on my back and I don't move. But there's a moment where I start sleeping and where my brain transition to sleepy time is that I make a the same thing you guys hear me on TV on here. So I go like that, well, like that usually. And I go, and that's when I'm gone. He did it. We were dating. When we first moved in together, he did a montage, and then he showed it to me. He's like, every time, because I sleep like that. His sleep takes longer. And every time he's like, like he put the thing, and it was every single time. He's like, yeah, I filmed you for a good 2 weeks straight. And every time you go to bed, you got that little sound. We're so stupid, and that's why I love him. Anyway, I'm done. Bye. See you next time. See you.